This is the week 1 hands-on exercise for CIS233DA, where we're going to build a calendar completely out of semantic elements and CSS. To get started, let's create 2 new documents in the week 1 folder. We'll create calendar.html and we'll also create calendar.css. You can pause anytime in this video you like to catch up with my quick fingers. We're going to first of all go to calendar and create the necessary HTML for this document. Of course, it starts out with exclamation point or bang and tab to create the template, after which I'm going to give it a title of my birthday month. And we will also create a link to our style sheet, which is calendar.css. Every web page needs an H1. So let's make ours, and we want it to say my birth month. We're going to skip the other semantic elements and just go for main. Now the semantic elements we're going to create will have meaning for you and me, not so much for the browser, but it makes sense. You can create your own elements of your own naming. The first one we want is something to contain the month. So let's just call it month. And in there, we'll type February 2023 or whatever year this happens to be. The next container or whatever I need is a box that will take up the place of 3 days. Okay. Instead of calling it 3-day box, I'm just going to call it leader. And all I'm going to put there is a non-breaking space. It gives it content so that, if I need to display anything, it will display, but it doesn't display, it displays a blank character. And while I'm at it, I'm going to create another one for the ending, which will have 4 days. I'm not going to call it leader, I'm going to call it trailer, and also put a non-breaking space there. And all I need in between there now are a bunch of days. And I am not going to type 28 of those. I'm going to copy and paste 28 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And now I've simply got to put all their numbers in them. Here's how I do it. 1 down arrow, 2 down arrow, 3 down arrow, down left, I should be saying. And then when I get here, I just start over with just the first digit. Oops, I looked up. There we go. Now I can go back and put the leading digits on the opposite way. I'll let you pause and catch up with that. Finally, I need to make the 21st, which is ostensibly my birthday, different. The way to make one thing different on the page, of course, is to give it the ID attribute, and we'll just call it birthday. That's easy to remember. All right, and that, my friends, is all that's needed for the HTML. Go ahead and pause to catch up if you need to. And we will save, and let's see what this looks like. Not very exciting, but all the right information is there. The next thing we need to do is go create our CSS. And of course, I'm going to grab the template here from earlier in Canvas and paste that in. And then just make the necessary adjustments, first of all, to this portion, and then add all the other CSS I need. I'm going to leave those blues there, but I'm also going to add black, which is RGB of 0, 0, 0. I know you know that, but white is also RGB of 255, 255, 255. But I'm also going to add yellow, which may not be so intuitive, RGB 255, 255, 0. And I'm also going to add a gray color, RGB. And when you add gray, all 3 numbers are the same. The lower the number, the darker the gray is. So those are my colors. I'll save that. I'm not going to make any changes to the universal selector, nor am I going to change the HTML selector. I will, however, change my body background color to black, and I'll change the color of my font to white. There we go. And my H1, just because I want to keep it with what the exercise looks like, I'm going to copy that one down and put it there. And I'm also going to change my font color to white, which I can just grab from right here. There we go. And those are the changes. I think that I may have forgotten one, but we'll take that for now. We'll save it, and then we'll come back over here to my birthday month and reload it. And looks good. We got black and white, and that's what I wanted. All right. The next thing we need to do is to start having these things appear going down the screen instead of all the way across. And of course, they are all nestled within the main wrapper. So we'll come over here and create a new selector for main. And the first thing, of course, I want to do is turn on the display of grid, which allows me to orient things in 2 dimensions on the screen. Then, with the new grid displays that are available, commands that are available to me, I'm going to use grid template columns. I want to set up 7 columns. I want them all to be the same size. So I could, as in other definitions, supply 7 equal definitions. But I could also just do this way. Repeat. And then I want 7 of them. That will create 7 equally distributed columns. But I do want a little space between them. So I'm going to add a gap of 0.5 REM. REM, of course, because that'll adjust the screen, to the screen size. So that's it. That's for main. Pause and catch up there if you need to. The next thing I need to do is the month, this area here. So I'll go ahead and create another selector for month. You'll notice it's a different color than a recognized semantic element. No bother though, it still works. Okay, for month, I'm going to do a lot of things. First of all, I need it to span 7 columns. That's a grid column command, and I want it to span 7. Okay. I'm also wanting to set the height of this one, and I'm going to set it about half of the days. It doesn't need to be quite as tall. So I'm going to say height, and I'm going to make it 2 rems. I'm also, contrary to the picture you're seeing in front of you, I want it to be a different blue. So I'm going to say background color, and I'm going to go choose my medium blue color. Just give me a little bit different definition there. All right, so there's my medium blue. And these next 3 commands are what allow it to be centered both horizontally and vertically within its container. This is a trio of commands you may want to just remember. First of all, we turn on within this one, flex, and then set the justify content to center and the text, align items to center. That centers both vertically and horizontally. And then it also wants the rounded edges, so I'll give it a border radius of 0.5 REM. So that's my month. Moving on down, the next thing I have is my leader area. So I'll create a selector for that. And the first thing I want for my leader is I want the height to be 4 rems, which is double that of the month. I also want the background color to be my gray color. So I'll come up and grab that here, and then I'll paste it there. But the most important thing about my leader, I'm going to put that first, is that I want it to span columns. So I'll just copy that from up there and change it from 7 to 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that's my leader. And some of you may notice something I'm leaving out here. I'm purposely leaving it out. We'll come back and fix it. The next thing I want to do is my day. Okay, so we'll put in my day selector. And first of all, we'll give it the background color. We don't need to span anything, so we'll start with that. And we're going to go for the light blue color. There we go. And I also want to set the height to 4 rems. Okay, and then I want my text to be aligned at the right-hand side. By default, it would appear on the left. And these next two things I'm going to do are let's do the border radius. Forgot that. That was 5 rem. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is move the text away from that border radius, because if I left it in the corner, some of the number would be actually hidden by the curve. So I'm going to add padding, and I want it to be different on all 4 sides. So it goes top, right, bottom, left. I want my top to be 0.2 rem. I want my right to be 0.4 rem, and I don't care about the other two. Okay, and I think that about finishes my day. Let's go ahead and do my trailer. And I want that. Let's see, I can come up here and just copy all that, can I? Oh yeah, that's right, I can paste that and just change that to 4. Okay. Well, you might notice some duplication of stuff here. Things that are in the same. For example, all 3 of these, leader, day, and trailer, have a height of 4 rem. If I wanted to come back and change that to 5 rem sometime, I'd have to do it 3 different places. So let's move it to a combinator. I want it to affect the leader and the day and the trailer. And I'm going to grab that height equals 4 rem from one of them and paste it in there, and then I can delete it from the other 2. Now, I've still got the same number of lines in my code, but here I only have to change it once if I want to update the height of that. And you may be noticing something else that's the same between, oh yeah, the background color is the same for the leader and the trailer. So I can create another combinator for leader and trailer. And I can move the background color out of there and put it there, and then remove it from there. And you'll notice also I forgot the border radius on both leader and trailer. So I can grab the border radius from there and move it into the combinator of. So when you're creating your CSS, oftentimes you'll just be doing it like I'm doing it, just walking down the page and styling everything. There may be times when you want to come back and put things together in a different way. And here's where you can use some combinators to save yourself some hassle down the road. I'll save that. And the one thing that we have not done yet here is my birthday. I want that to stand out. That was a ID selector of birthday, so I'm going to copy the word birthday while I'm over here checking. And I'll use the pound sign and then paste to make sure I have the correct selector for my birthday ID attribute. And I wanted that, first of all, to be bold. So font weight 700 is a good one for bold. And I also want the background color to be my dark blue. There it is. That one up there. And then I'll paste it down here for my birthday. And I want the color of the font to be yellow, which again, I'll grab from up here, copy, and paste it down here with its semicolon. And that should about cover it. Let's go ahead and preview this. Boy, that Border radius is pretty bad, isn't it? Because I said 5 rem instead of 0.5 rem. Now, do you see how easy this is going to be to fix instead of having to go do it 5 places? Oh my goodness, that's perfect. Except we were told that we should also do the well, they're there. What do I need to do with? Let's test and see. I'm going to grab this and oh my goodness. Then look, the birth month, look at that. It gets bigger. The height of February gets a little bit bigger. The height of each of the days gets bigger, and the size of the numbers gets bigger as soon as I go over to tablet. Let's see what happens when I get to desktop size. I guess that was desktop size. Oh, we were working in tablet size to begin with. There's your phone, there's your tablet, and there's your desktop. What did we do to make that happen? Nothing. We simply used the template, and then instead of measuring anything in pixels, we measured it all in rems. So it's completely compatible with all 3 different screen sizes. So there you have it. There's our week 1 exercise. Make sure you duplicate what you've got there so you have it in your fingers, and then turn it in.